Guys, this is Nick Brown at JTech today, and today I'm in the middle of my equipment and operation class. All right, right now we have one of our forklifters out. This is our here at JTech. This is what I consider a medium duty forklift. We have a bigger one in the back that can pretty much lift almost anything, but this one is our 4,000 pound rated forklift. Okay, today I'm going to be teaching you guys of how to operate this thing. Okay. Very simple, just the basics of a forklift. This forklift has solid tires on it, okay? Just to do your basically pre-operation inspection, you want to go around, you want to make sure all the tires are not cracked or compromised in any way that they will affect the operation of this forklift. You want to go around, make sure the weight in the back is, make sure it's not falling on, make sure you can actually move it and move the whole forklift. Okay, that would be bad if the weight were to fall off and have a load on the forks up there and then all of a sudden flip. Go around, inspect the tires, inspect anything that's contacting the tires because obviously you don't want that to happen. Inspect the hydraulic cylinders for any leaks. Okay, and one of the last things, right before our pre-operation, during our pre-operation, one of the things I wanted you guys to look at was the forks. Okay. The structure of these forks, the way you can tell if the structure of these forks are compromised is by taking a ruler and a white piece of chalk. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a piece of chalk right here, draw a piece of chalk down there, measure it. Okay. Do the same thing for the other one. Okay. The way you can tell these are bent. I believe if it's within a quarter-inch different measurement of each other, you know one of them's bent, and you know that they need to be replaced. Okay? But at the same time, if you can actually visually see that if the forks are bent, then obviously as a technician or as an operator, you need to let your service or you need to let your advisor know that, hey, this thing's bent, it needs to be replaced. So therefore the forklifter will be out of commission until the forks get replaced. Okay. One of the last things is your sliding cylinder, sliding the load back and forth. You want to make sure that's not leaking. This one's disconnecting because this cylinder is having issues. That's why we disconnected it, because it was having issues. It was becoming a hazard. So, and also another thing for your lifting cylinder. Look at your lifting cylinder. That's it right here. Look at the chains. These chains, whenever the lifting cylinder comes up and it lifts the load, these chains basically are supporting the load right there. These chains prevent the load from crashing down, basically. So these chains, you want to make sure that they don't have any cracks in them. Also, what operators will typically do is they'll take grease. They'll take actual grease and they'll rub the chain down on it. What that does over time is it'll accumulate dirt and dust, and it'll tear up the chain. It'll wear it out. Don't do that. What you're going to want to do is you're going to take white lithium grease and coat the chain in it just very lightly, so that way it won't accumulate as much dirt and dust. Okay. Alright guys, so we are now in the forklifter, and I'm going to start it up for you guys. Alright, so this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn the key on, get the glow plugs warming, push the fuel on. Okay, and these right here, this is your brake, and this is your brake pedal, okay, and this right here is your transmission pedal. This pedal, what it does is it disconnects the transmission from the engine, okay. This just applies the brake, okay. I'm not going to be showing you guys that, unfortunately, because the way my phone does it, it does it kind of a bad way. You guys won't be able to see that. But for now, we're just going to be using this pedal just to be safe, okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start it. And then we got our tilt levers over here. We go ahead, I'm going to raise the forks up. What you can do actually is you can rev up the engine and it'll go up a little bit faster. Put it down, up, whichever way you want. I can't move it side to side because, as I said earlier in the video, the hydraulic cylinder that tilts or that moves the load side to side is not in operation. Alright, right here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this thing in drive. Push our parking brake down. Push that in. And just to get it in drive, just give the lever, the steering wheel lever next to the steering wheel, just give it a tap forward. And guess what? Now you're starting to move. Move it forward a little bit. And pull it back. This is drive. As you can see, we're starting to move. Press the brake. This is neutral. This is reverse. Obviously, you hear the siren going on. And that's it. Put it back in neutral. Apply your brake. I'm going to go ahead and shut the engine off for you guys. Pull the fuel back. Cut the engine off. Okay. Get out of the forklifter. Typically what happens whenever you operate these forklifters is you want the forks at least 5 to 6 inches off the ground. That's, I mean, just by the looks of it, that's maybe a little bit higher than 6 inches from what I just did right there. But the normal measurement is 6 inches off the ground whenever you are moving loads around a warehouse or around the shop. Okay. These forklifters, they're good for lifting heavy objects, like lifting heads off engines, off big diesel engines. Typically what we do in the shop back there. And lifting just heavy objects all around, especially when you don't have a specific lift to lift whatever you're trying, a specific type of lift. These forklifts, they come in handy. Okay. Just part of one of our pre-operations, as I wanted to say, make sure your lights work, make sure your top light works, especially if you're operating this at night and you want people to see you. Okay, more of our pre-operation. Make sure your seatbelt is working. Okay. Make sure all your fluids are good. Make sure your engine oil is good. Make sure your hydraulic fluid is good. Last thing you want to do is operate one of these with low hydraulic fluid. So with that, guys, we will see you guys later. Have a good one.